One of the best movie experiences I have ever had was with this scene right here. Hello, and welcome to The Movie Moment, the video series where we talk about the best movies from the past and the present. This is your host, your favorite man-child, Super Jesus Jackson. Today, we will be talking about the iconic Joker bathroom scene from the 2019 film Joker. Bathroom scene. Interesting, huh? Directed by Todd Phillips, of course, this movie is one of the greatest films I've ever seen, no doubt. And if you guys want to see more Joker videos, just let me know, because I have one more in mind, probably others, but yeah, just let me know, because I'd be happy to do them. Also, please make sure to hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I upload. Alright, so this scene, when I saw it for the first time, I had tears in my eyes. No joke. That was funny. The theater was dead quiet. Everyone was dead quiet. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. Everyone was in it. It was a beautiful, beautiful scene. If there was ever a time to call something hauntingly beautiful, then this would be one of those times. What is it that makes this scene great, though? Well, I first have to introduce the idea that Joker is a film of contradiction. In fact, if you just look at the character's makeup in the film, it has contradiction. One eyebrow is higher than the other, one eye has taller eye makeup than the other, the right part of the nose has less red than the other, the right part of the smile is more straight than the other. Joker laughs in the most inopportune times. He laughs when he's in pain, when he's sad. He's shy and introverted, yet he's a party clown who also tries to be a stand-up comedian. He can't really dance, but he can also dance. Hell, the whole movie relies on the whole audience contradicting their own sense of righteous morality. That's how we're able to connect and sympathize with Joker in the first place. So contradiction after contradiction, right? Well, this bathroom scene has its own fair share of it. This is expressed with the bathroom lights in the setting of the scene, as well as the mirror that Arthur is dancing in front of. When Arthur Fleck enters the restroom and shuts the door, the light above him is flickering. So what does that mean? Well, flickering can mean a lot of things. It can mean chaos, it can mean anxiety, uncertainty. So, in other words, the opposite of order, patience, and serenity. The opposite of the Joker, right? And this makes sense because the scene before this is the scene where Arthur kills for the first time, and that scene was everything but good. This bathroom scene is the beginning transformation into the Joker for Arthur, and the first light we see here is showcasing how chaotic Arthur's mind is right now. Here's the interesting thing though. As the scene progresses, there is a second bathroom light, and that light is not flickering at all. So what does that mean? Well, remember what I said about contradiction? There are two lights, one is flickering and one isn't. This highlights Arthur's own contradicting moral conflict. In the beginning of the movie, Arthur was a pure soul that would never hurt a thing, but as the story progresses, he starts to lose his patience. And the first time he does and he kills the two guys in the train, Arthur runs away and he panics. Clearly he is taken aback by what he has done. Clearly he still has some pure soul in him, you know? This bathroom scene is the manifestation of that, and the contradicting bathroom lights highlights the contradicting moral conflict in his head. The other two lights above the mirror, too. One is lit and the other is not. A perfect contradiction. Good and evil, light and dark. That is Arthur's battle. This bathroom is the backdrop for the initiation of Arthur's transformation into the Joker. Another thing that makes this scene fantastic is Arthur's dancing. Now we know the character loves to dance, right? And clowns love to dance, so that's all well and good, but it's the way that he dances that communicates the transformation into the Joker so perfectly. In the beginning of the movie, Arthur's very non-confrontational, shy even, as we see when he's trying to tell his jokes, and he's passive. He's too kind, perhaps, as well. The moves that Arthur does in this scene is the opposite of that. It is him unleashing himself. He opens to the right with his right leg. He constantly stretches his arms wide. He actively reaches for all that he wasn't reaching for before. The bravery and courage to stand up for himself, to finally lash out to all the injustice before him. And finally, he opens his arms far and wide, looks in the mirror, and says, "I'm free." And it makes sense why all this happens in the restroom of all places, which, goddamn, that's another contradiction. The restroom is a place of privacy and comfort, so Arthur transforming and opening up for the first time in his life in a restroom is contradicting. Arthur is introverted and insecure, so the restroom is a perfect place for him, but yet he undergoes the transformation of the opposite of that in a restroom. There's conflict there, but at the same time not, because also transformation usually occurs in times and places of solace and reflection. Superman usually becomes Superman in solace. Spider-Man lets go of his symbiote kind of alone in a church. And I'm sure there's tons of other, examples. So anyway, this brings me to my last point, which actually further highlights the theme of contradiction. The mirror in this scene. The mirror. It's very contradicting. It shows the reflection to the self. Two things, It's almost like this, Carl Jung type of thing, right? The shadow and the self. It's not exactly that, but I'll explain. This entire time, Arthur is dancing in front of this mirror, and it isn't until his final movement that he looks directly at it. This mirror is the finalized, ideal version of Arthur, the Joker. Arthur dancing in front of the mirror is his present self transforming. Which I guess, is why I mentioned the whole Carl Jung reference, because in this case, it's kind of this reversed form of Carl Jung's The Shadow, because the shadow usually is, the person that you don't want to look at, who you really are. But it's not your idealized version. You use the shadow to become your ideal version. In this case, the Joker's shadow or reflection is who he really needs to be, which I guess makes sense as to why this character turns out to be a villain instead of a hero. But you can take it in many different ways. He never does look at himself in the mirror, though, until the last movement he does, signifying his transformation. Even the movement he does highlights that. He's like saying, "This is who I am now." If you think about it, people who are very insecure, shy, passive, they don't look at themselves in the mirror a whole lot because they're ashamed of themselves. And Arthur is really no different, but this scene is him breaking out of that, embracing who he was meant to be. Now, I want to be very clear. I am not in any way, shape, or form endorsing the type of character that Arthur turns out to be in this movie. Of course not. I'm obviously talking about it in the context of the character in the film, but also that's why art is so incredibly special. You can get inspired by a movie like this, but it's not in the literal go insane and kill everyone type of way. Joker inspires me to be who I was meant to be, to stand up for myself, to become someone, not just somebody, in and for my own endeavors. Yeah. It's honestly crazy awesome how a movie as fucked up as this can inspire someone to do good, to do the best possible good for them and for the people around them. That's what it does for me, and I also feel that that's not really said all that much, and I think it's because of all the bad press this movie got. Everyone's kind of afraid to admit that, but I know I'm not the only one. A lot of people like this movie, but I cannot be the only one. Hell, the creators of this movie made this movie for a reason, and you can bet your ass it wasn't to inspire violence.